Welcome, fellow seekers of the extraordinary. Today, we delve into the captivating world of Dr. Wondertainment and one of their most peculiar creations, SCP-1103. Get ready for an in-depth exploration as we uncover the secrets of Dr. Wondertainment's transplantation kit for young surgeons. SCP-1103 refers to a series of commercially packaged human body parts, labeled as 1103-1 to 1103-11. These vacuum-sealed objects come in plastic trays, adorned with the labeled Dr. Wondertainment's transplantation kit for young surgeons and price tags ranging from $4 to $26. Each package contains various contents, including an instruction manual, a pair of disposable plastic gloves, and a tube labeled Dr. Wondertainment's Tube Wonder Lubricant, this being referred to as SCP-1103-2. The tube contains approximately 5 ccm of a translucent, viscous yellow-green liquid with a composition resembling blood plasma. Analysis has revealed the remarkable durability of the tissues within SCP-1103. Samples have survived up to 3 hours in open air at room temperature. By vacuum sealing or submerging the sample in a physiological solution and cooling it below 5 degrees Celsius, the samples can be stored indefinitely. DNA analysis has shown that despite their uniform appearance, the samples originate from different individuals of various races and genders. The only commonality among them is the blood type O and the negative Rh factor. Applying SCP-1103-2 onto human or animal tissue temporarily loosens the intercellular bonds within a 1 mm thick layer, accompanied by a subtle fluorescence lasting approximately 5 minutes. Afterward, the surface regains its original structure, with the outermost epidermal layer failing to regenerate. When another tissue sample comes into contact with the loosened cellular layer, the surfaces fuse together. Within 6 to 14 hours, a functional network of blood vessels develops at the interface. Initially, it was believed that neural connections did not form, but further experiments have shown that this process takes an average of 3 weeks. Remarkably, only one case of tissue rejection has been registered, despite the use of foreign tissues. Detailed experiment protocols are available upon request for research. Now, let's take a look at the user instructions for SCP-1103-1, the Funny Finger Transplant. Congratulations! You've successfully acquired the Funny Finger Transplant, part of Dr. Wondertainment's transplantation kit for young surgeons. Are you ready to become a young surgeon? Let's find out. Step 1. Find a friend in need of a finger. Step 2. Open the packaging of the Funny Finger Transplant fearlessly. Step 3. Put on the Dr. Wondertainment's rubber gloves like a true surgeon. Make sure they fit snugly. Step 4. Snap open the cap of Dr. Wondertainment's Tube Wonder Lubricant registered. Don't worry, it won't spoil if you store it cool. Step 5. Apply a small amount of Wonder Lubricant to the spot where the new finger is needed. Step 6. Wait patiently, like waiting for a traffic light, until you see the green light. Step 5. Apply a small amount of Wonder Lubricant to the spot where the new finger is needed. Step 6. Wait patiently, like waiting for a traffic light, until you see the green light. Step 8. Hold it in place for about 5 seconds. Hooray! The operation was a success, young surgeon. If you're not currently a young surgeon, make sure to keep Dr. Wondertainment's transplantation kit for young surgeons cool. Avoid direct contact with the Wonder Lubricant. Be careful when removing the rubber gloves. Be as precise as a real surgeon. Once the funny finger is in place, it won't come off easily. For those aspiring young surgeons, you might consider purchasing Dr. Wondertainment's Human Construction Set for young surgeons. Warning: may contain traces of nuts. Thank you for joining us on this extraordinary journey through the realm of Dr. Wondertainment and the mystifying SCP-1103. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video about 1103, and if you want to learn more about other anomalies from the Foundation, then go watch one of these videos shown on the screen. Welcome back to another episode of our SCP series. In today's video, we'll be exploring SCP-120-DE, a mysterious robot that has puzzled our researchers for years. SCP-120-DE is classified as Euclid and is kept in Standort DE-35 under strict security measures. Let's find out more about this strange robot. SCP-120-DE is a 2-meter-tall robot that weighs 1 ton and is painted beige. It's made of an unknown, durable alloy, with the rest of its body made of tungsten. It features 2 UV spotlights on its shoulders that are used for illumination and defense, with the latter being used to blind the opponent. Its 2 arms have unknown weapon systems installed on them, with the ammunition being reloaded after every shot. The ammunition is produced through an unknown process that's believed to consume part of the kerosene that SCP-120-DE requires to function. SCP-120-DE is equipped with an eye that produces a bright flash of light when activated. It has a structure that's partially mechanical, but the base material remains unknown. Researchers have also discovered that there's a mass behind SCP-120-DE's eye that resembles the human brain, which they've labeled as SCP-120-DE-03. This mass works differently from a human brain and produces different neural impulses. SCP-120-DE is capable of speech and communicates fluently in German. Its voice is similar to that of a human, but with a metallic tone. Despite not having a mouth, it can speak through a loudspeaker or other means. SCP-120-DE is highly intelligent, with its IQ increasing as the volume of kerosene it has in its tank rises. Researchers believe that the different neural impulses created by SCP-120-DE-03 are more effective when it has more kerosene available. Speaking of kerosene, SCP-120-DE requires 50 liters of it every week to function, with 136 liters being the maximum tank limit. If SCP-120-DE is fully fueled, its IQ can reach 207. However, under no circumstances should SCP-120-DE be activated during experiments, as it's highly dangerous and has killed anyone who has attempted to access its ammunition. The left weapon installation on SCP-120-DE's arm is labeled as SCP-120-DE-01, and the right one as SCP-120-DE-02. SCP-120-DE-02 is believed to be able to produce highly explosive projectiles, although no further information is available. The purpose and origin of SCP-120-DE are still unknown, leaving many questions unanswered. What do you think SCP-120-DE was created for? Let us know in the comments section below. That's all for today's episode. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more intriguing SCP videos. Thank you for watching. Greetings and welcome to the SCP Library, the archive of an organization dedicated to the safeguarding of humanity from anomalous threats called the SCP Foundation. Today, we will be delving into the specifics of object number SCP-223, also known as the photo album, including its classification and containment procedures. SCP-223 is a small, hardcover photo album containing 30 photos of an engaged couple's vacation on an unknown beach. The album appears to be missing its label. It's kept in a secure vault at Site-19, with 2 missing photos from the album kept in a separate vault at Site-17. Any personnel who observe anomalies within SCP-223 must be assigned to a different project immediately. These employees must be monitored for mental instability, including thrice-weekly on-site examinations by a psychiatrist, and are advised to avoid contact with photographs of any kind. The album contains 28 photos of the couple who took the vacation that died due to an extended suicide committed by the man. From his suicide note, it was revealed that he had found his fiancée in bed with another man and killed her. However, no evidence of such an affair was found. One person, a Caucasian man with attractive and somewhat androgynous features, identified as SCP-223-1, appears repeatedly in SCP-223's photos. Due to his behavior in the photos, he appears to be a friend of the couple. All attempts to identify SCP-223-1 have been unsuccessful. SCP-223-1 does not appear in any photos or recorded video footage of SCP-223, despite a careful comparison analysis of the photos being performed. Individuals who view SCP-223 will frequently notice the likeness of their romantic interest in one or more of SCP-223's photos, replacing a random passerby. Independent observers can verify that the photos do indeed change. However, these anomalies are always discovered by the person who is most disturbed by them. SCP-223 appears to target readers who are in a stable, happy, romantic relationship. SCP-223 can apparently only target one person at a time. If the discoverer of the anomaly, hereafter referred to as the target, continues to view SCP-223, their perception of the album's contents will radically change. While every other reader will continue to see the original photos, the target will perceive a photo album of their romantic partner interacting with an androgynous but attractive representative of the same sex as the target. The target invariably reacts with jealousy and suspicion and, if allowed, searches for the last 2 pages, assuming that their contents prove whether their partner is cheating on them or not. The effects of SCP-223 on a particular target completely disappear within 1 week, unless the target comes into contact with new photos or SCP-223. After this time, the likeness of the current target's romantic partner disappears from the album, and the target can view ordinary photos without difficulty. If a former target attempts to view the photos in SCP-223. Thank you for watching this video on SCP-223, also called the photo album, its classification, and its containment procedures. For more information, please visit our YouTube channel. Always remember to never mess with SCP-223, that can make you see your lover cheating on you with a stranger. Hey there viewers, in this we'll be discussing an intriguing object classified as SCP-032-FR, also known as the Ornate Gun. It is a safe class object that was recovered during a Foundation raid on a Marshall, Carter, and Dark auction in Strasbourg. Let's dive in and learn more about this fascinating item. SCP-032-FR is a bolt pistol made of solid gold and iron parts, including shafts, springs, gears, and forged parts. It has a 17th century amber varnish-coated wooden grip and weighs 1,200 grams. Its breech cannot be opened like a bolt by a lever. Instead, the user must pump the shaft under the barrel to reload the weapon. A unique feature of SCP-032-FR is that it engraves a number in Roman numerals on the user's wrist when they grab it. The number is equivalent to the number of firings available to the user and indicates the effects of a shooting. Each number signifies a different effect, and those effects do not change between users. When all shots are fired, the shooter cannot use the weapon anymore. SCP-032-FR is to be contained in a reinforced case in Site-65's weapon safe. Only Level 4 researchers are authorized to access SCP-032-FR in order to conduct tests, which must be under the supervision of two armed guards. In the case of an attack or a containment breach, at least five armed guards are to secure the case and defend their position. Tests conducted on SCP-032-FR are to be performed by D-Class personnel and overseen by 4 armed guards. Researchers must stay in an adjacent room, viewing the test behind Type BR-7 bulletproof glass, which can withstand anything from .22 caliber rounds to powerful explosions. The 2 rooms must be locked hermetically to prevent any biological contamination. Should a pathogen be detected in the test room, antibacteriological measures must be applied. The inner covering of the 2 rooms must be made of 25 centimeters wide reinforced concrete. SCP-032-FR was created by a master gunsmith living in the 17th century, and there may be as many as five models in existence. MTF Delta 3 Dragons is tasked with the mission of recovering the other four, and investigating reports of several incidents similar to SCP-032-FR's effects. The Master Gunsmith may have generated an infinity symbol with the object's properties, which would allow its wielder to choose the effects of SCP-032-FR's shots. However, none of the descendants could generate the symbol, and a project to test the object with more Foundation personnel is pending approval. And that concludes our video on SCP-032-FR, the ornate gun. Its mysterious properties make it a valuable and dangerous item to be contained by the Foundation. We hope you found this video informative and entertaining. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more interesting content. SCP-018-DE is a sheet of paper cut with scissors to approximately DIN A5 size. It bears printed text stating, "The bearer is allowed." The signature is indecipherable. There are no indications of the issuer or origin, and the backside is blank. When a person possessing SCP-018-DE is asked to justify any act or is caught in the act and presents 018-DE, all individuals within a radius of 4 meters become convinced that the bearer of SCP-018-DE is authorized to commit the act. This effect also occurs in individuals who become aware of the contents of SCP-018-DE within 10 minutes, including through radio, media, or messages from those affected. This effect is permanent and only reversible through amnesiac treatment. Affected individuals attempt to justify the act to unaffected individuals and may resort to violence, even at the risk of their own lives, to protect the perpetrator. The urge to support the owner of 018-DE increases with opposition from authorities, media, and the general public. If 018-DE is stolen or lost, the effect diminishes for all previously affected by this bearer within 48 hours, and they become aware of the gravity of the owner's actions as well as their own involvement. If it is recovered, it can be reused. If it is recovered before the 48-hour period expires, the effect remains for all still affected. If it is voluntarily passed on, the effect is also retained. A person who acquires SCP-018-DE becomes immediately aware of its primary function and feels the urge to use it. And with that, let us take a look at the list of crimes and security breaches committed by multiple individuals using SCP-018-DE. 247 thefts of items valued under $1,000. 247 thefts of items valued under $1,000. 2 bank robberies totaling approximately $4 million in loot. 7 instances of unauthorized presence in the women's showers of a gym. 1 instance of rape. 3 murders of non-Foundation personnel. For thefts of anomalous Foundation objects in Germany. The release and theft of SCP objects. The leak of 8 terabytes of data from the Foundation's network. The murder of a member of O4. SCP-018-DE is stored at Site DE4 in a Class 4 secure locker. The locker is gas-tight and flooded with the highly toxic, mass-breaking security gas to prevent unauthorized access, which is pumped out before authorized access is granted. Access to 018-DE requires approval from O4-4. The room is monitored by 2 independent, illiterate, non-lip reading, and non-sign language proficient employees using video cameras without microphones. They are unaware of the contents and effects of SCP-018-DE. Upon detecting an unauthorized access attempt, the room containing the locker is flooded with the gas upon button press. Individuals found in possession of SCP-018-DE unlawfully are to be terminated immediately without prior contact. SCP-018-DE may only be transported by a remotely controlled robot. Under all circumstances and by all means, it must be prevented from being used by unauthorized personnel. SCP-5976 is a silver cross necklace pendant measuring 35 by 21 millimeters. Its anomalous properties manifest whenever a single subject sleeps alone with any type of body covering in a room with SCP-5976. Once the subject has entered stage 2 of the sleep cycle, an object within the room will begin to play a 10-note refrain. This object, being designated as SCP-5976-1, can be either electronic or mechanical in nature, such being a phone radio or an piano. SCP-5976-1 will continually play the refrain until the subject wakes up. When this happens, the subject will experience strong feelings of nausea and fear. These feelings are exacerbated upon the viewing of SCP-5976-2, a humanoid entity approximately 180 centimeters tall which is missing an arm. 5976-2 will produce guttural noises in conjunction with lulls in the SCP-5976-1 refrain. SCP-5976-2 is not visible upon image or video capturing devices. However, shadows cast and sounds produced by SCP-5976-2 can still be recorded. If the subject attempts to hide by under their body covering, it will start to rapidly increase in weight and retaining temperature. If the subject attempts to find SCP-5976-1 and prevents it from stopping the refrain, SCP-5976-2 will grab the subject and vocalize the phrase, "No, no." SCP-5976-2 will demanifest if the subject stops the refrain in any way. 5976 was formerly owned by the Eddowes' daughter, Catherine Eddowes, who died in the Innsmouth Abbey fire in April 2019. SCP-5976 was discovered along with the burnt corpse of Marion Eddowes in Innsmouth, Massachusetts during a standard anomalous item sweep on June 7, 2019. The disappearance of Annette Blaylock is theorized to be related to SCP-5976. Approximately 97.3% of subjects die of either blunt force trauma or immolation within an hour of SCP-5970 SIXS activation. SCP-5976 is to be kept in a lockbox at Site-107. Only Level 3+ personnel with the prior approval of the Ethics Committee are allowed to retrieve SCP-5976 for testing purposes, and all information into the Eddowes and Blaylock families are to be sealed. And with that, thank you for watching this video, and if you are still interested in learning about more SCP objects, go watch one of these videos on the screen right now. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. In this video, we will be discussing the strange properties of an SCP object known as SCP-123, also referred to as the geodesic sphere or the miniature black hole. This object has been classified as Euclid, and it's important to follow specific safety measures when dealing with it. SCP-123 is a gray geodesic sphere with a diameter of 65 centimeters, made up of 60 triangles. The areas between the triangles are empty, revealing the center of the sphere. The material from which the sphere is made is unknown and has only been studied visually upon an redacted researcher's recommendation. SCP-123 must be kept in a secure facility and securely fastened to the top of a stable table using straps, chains, nets, or similar devices. No hooks should be attached to the object. The object and table should be centrally located in a room no smaller than 5 meter x 5 meter by 5 meter. No sensitive measuring devices should be used within a distance of 100 meters from SCP-123, as their measurements will be noticeably affected. Absolutely no objects should be introduced into SCP-123, except under experimental conditions. The transfer of SCP-123 should be carried out with care, and it should be avoided to shake or bump the object with significant force. SCP-123 should never be transported over large bodies of water. No personnel with a security clearance level of less than 2 should be allowed to enter the containment chamber of SCP-123. Anyone who interacts with the object should wear close-fitting clothing that absolutely does not have any bands, laces, or other dangling components. People with long hair must tie their hair back or wear a hairnet. The geodesic sphere is hollow except for the center, where there appears to be a black ball approximately 1 millimeter in diameter. No light can be reflected or emitted from the black ball. The core seems to exhibit significant gravitational force that increases massively within the limits of the outer geodesic sphere. This gravity can be measured with sensitive instruments dozens of meters away. Within about 3 meters, the attraction is visible to any observer, with hanging objects being drawn towards the ball. On the surface of the outer sphere, the gravitational force doubles the weight of any object placed on the structure. If a small object is inserted into the outer sphere, its properties are made evident. Such an object quickly accelerates towards the center and then disappears. Any liquid poured into the object is also sucked into the central ball. An analysis has shown that light approaching the black ball is curved towards the center. The extent of the gravity displayed on the surface of the inner ball indicates that its mass is approximately 1029 kg, although the apparent gravity-reducing effect within the outer sphere means that its actual mass may far exceed this. Note that such a mass would normally imply a Schwarzschild radius on the order of 200 meters, which exceeds the actual observed radius of approximately 0.5 millimeters, which can be viewed as further evidence of the gravitational damping properties of the outer sphere. In conclusion, SCP-123 is a truly fascinating and mysterious object with a number of unique and unexplainable properties. We hope that you enjoyed learning about this SCP object, and please let us know in the comments if you have any thoughts or questions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Hello and welcome to this video about SCP-991 Safe Class Object in care of the SCP Foundation. SCP-991-1 is a 19 centimeters long syringe. While the plunger is made of steel, the barrel and needle appear to be composed of previously unknown materials. When inserted into the blood vessel of a human and drawn, SCP-991-1 fills with an unknown black fluid, given the designation SCP-991-2. Once drawn from an individual henceforth known as the donor, the plunger of the syringe cannot be pressed unless the needle of SCP-991-1 has been inserted into another human. Visual analysis of SCP-991-2 has shown it to have a significantly lower viscosity than blood, but direct analysis has proven impossible due to the nature of SCP-991-1. Attempts to draw SCP-991-2 from a vein using a normal needle immediately after it was injected with SCP-991-1 have met with failure. Apparently, SCP-991-2 either disperses the instant it is injected or becomes immaterial. When injected with SCP-991-2, the individual, henceforth known as the recipient, will instantly take on the thoughts, emotions, and memories at the forefront of the donor's mind during SCP-991-2 extraction. The further back the plunger is drawn, the more SCP-991-2 present, the more potent and permanent these ideas will be. Because it is the thoughts most prevalent in the donor's mind that determine which are transferred, some level of control can be achieved. The process is imperfect, however, as unwanted ideas usually manifest in the recipient alongside the desired ones. Whether this is an aspect of SCP-991 or a lack of focus on the part of the donor has yet to be determined. Regardless of the cause, the thought leak caused by SCP-991 often results in the recipient becoming unhinged, especially if he or she receives multiple injections. They begin to possess conflicting viewpoints and ideas, and exhibit symptoms similar to those of a paranoid schizophrenic. For this reason, use of non-D-class personnel as the recipient is highly discouraged. SCP-991 appears to actually transfer thoughts, as any idea taken from the donor no longer appears in his or her mind. Transferred memories, emotions, and even opinions seem to vanish from the donor when SCP-991-1 is drawn. After repeated donations, donors often begin to exhibit symptoms consistent with Alzheimer's disease. In some cases, this will result in the loss of a fundamental faculty of the donor, such as swallowing, breathing, or blinking. In such cases, subject is to be euthanized once all relevant data on their psychology has been taken. Use of SCP-991 on Foundation personnel is highly discouraged and requires the consent of both the donor and recipient, as well as the approval of 2 Class 4 personnel. Use of SCP-991 on Foundation personnel is highly discouraged and requires the consent of both the donor and recipient, as well as the approval of 2 Class 4 personnel. SCP-991-1 is to be kept in a sealed container at Site-19. SCP-991-1 may not be stored if there is SCP-991-2 present. Access to SCP-991-1 for testing or use requires the approval of a Class 4 personnel. Hello and welcome to our video on SCP-1853, a performance-enhancing serum that has been classified as safe by the SCP Foundation. However, despite its seemingly harmless classification, SCP-1853 has some interesting effects on those who come into contact with it. In this video, we will explain what SCP-1853 is, its effects, and why it's important to contain it. SCP-1853 is a green human-derived serum containing a mixture of unidentified proteins and chemical compounds. When not applied to an organic object, SCP-1853 has no anomalous properties and is functionally identical to water. However, when applied to a living subject, SCP-1853 noticeably enhances the performance of the individual subject in a competitive environment. It is effective in both athletic and non-athletic competitions, such as chess, poker, and collectible trading card competitions. Furthermore, SCP-1853's effects do not cease after a competitive event is over and may not desist at all. Reports have shown that known SCP-1853 users activate its effects in any activity they feel is a competition, leading to dangerous behaviors such as fighting, inciting riots, and taking aggressive action against those they perceive as not having a proper competitive spirit. SCP-1853 was originally developed as a superhero serum by Prometheus Labs, and several samples were discovered to be missing and leaked to minor league sports franchises. The Foundation has contained all known samples of SCP-1853, but attempts to censor references to its effects mentioned during SCP-2206 broadcasts covering the New York Ubans and their repeated abuse of the substance are ongoing. Special containment procedures have been put in place for SCP-1853, with all known samples to be contained in airtight containers under restricted access at Site-77 and Storage Locker 663. When being tested, only chemical analysis testing is approved, and a small amount should be stored in an aerosol dispersal system. Any reports of SCP-1853 being used outside of containment should be immediately investigated by Foundation agents. In conclusion, SCP-1853 is a dangerous serum that enhances performance in a competitive environment, leading to dangerous and aggressive behavior in individuals. It is important to contain SCP-1853 and prevent it from being used outside of approved testing for chemical analysis. The SCP Foundation's special containment procedures ensure that SCP-1853 remains contained and cannot cause harm to individuals. Welcome back to the SCP Library channel, where we delve into the extraordinary anomalies contained by the SCP Foundation. This video we have a rather unusual and potentially dangerous sweet treat to discuss, SCP-1079, also known as Dr. Wondertainment's Bubble Bath Bonbons. Prepare yourself for a mind-blowing journey into the world of anomalous confections. SCP-1079 refers to a series of brightly labeled candies marketed as Dr. Wondertainment's Bubble Bath Bonbons, registered. But don't let the charming packaging fool you. These candies harbor an unsettling secret. Currently, the Foundation has secured multiple crates of SCP-1079 within Containment Locker 1079 at Site 19. Let's take a closer look. Each packet of SCP-1079 contains a warning label cautioning against consumption by children under 3 years of age. It also states that only one candy should be consumed at a time. Strangely, the nutritional information on the label lists negative percentages for various nutrients, vitamins, and minerals, despite these components being absent from SCP-1079 itself. Once a human subject consumes an SCP-1079 candy, an immediate tingling sensation is reported. But that's just the beginning of the anomaly's effects. Approximately 10 to 15 seconds later, the subject's own blood is secreted as pink, bubblegum-scented foam from their pores on the abdomen, arms, and back. This unique phenomenon typically results in the release of 30 to 50 milliliters of foam-infused blood, which, fortunately, does not pose an immediate health risk. However, the volume of blood secreted increases exponentially with each additional candy consumed. As more candies are ingested, bubbles form within the subject's blood, ultimately causing it to boil. This horrific consequence is a direct result of SCP-1079's intended function. Shockingly, death by exsanguination occurs in 95% of subjects who consume 4 or more candies in one sitting. The foam collecting in the lungs exacerbates the exsanguination process, leading to a fatal outcome. To further compound the danger, experiments have shown that the effects of SCP-1079 scale with the consumer's body mass. The implications of this anomaly are both astounding and horrifying. How did Dr. Wondertainment create such a deadly confection, and what purpose does it serve? These questions continue to baffle Foundation researchers. To ensure the safety of the public, watchlist databases are constantly updated with SCP-1079's information, allowing for the interception of any new shipments that may appear in the future. The SCP Foundation remains vigilant in containing these perilous candies within Containment Locker 1079. And that wraps up our exploration of SCP-1079.